What's going on, movers? Happy Thursday. I'm here at the Learning Center at the Suburban Golf Club in Pikesville, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore. And I'm going to get a little bit of practice in. And I talk about practice all the time, but I've rarely shown all of you my practice. And we're going to go through it a little bit. Just got off a shift here, helping out around the course for the season. And we're going to talk a little bit about proper practice. As you can see, obviously a lot in here. We have all the fitting carts, we have a body track, I own a K-vest, we have a flight scope that's put away. I mean, you name it, world-class teaching center here, all the training aids, all the bells and whistles that you could ever want. But what are those bells and whistles meant for? Those bells and whistles are to help you create a feeling. That's what golf instruction is about. That's what practice is all about, is to train a certain feeling. Now, there's two sides of the coin. There's two ways of looking at this. And I ask people this question all the time. Does the swing you make dictate the shot you hit, or does the shot that you need to hit dictate the swing that you make? And depending on how you answer that is how you learn and how you're going to play. I'm a big believer that each shot has its own unique and individual feeling. So if you're trying to just create one shot again and again and again, like hitting a 7-iron 1,000 times, you're not going to play good golf, because that's the only shot that you're good at hitting, and you're only good at hitting it off of that mat. So really, we want to practice like we play. We want to have as many different situations as you can, constantly changing your clubs, changing your targets, changing the shape, and really going from there. So I'll take you through a little bit of what I do to practice here. Feel free to throw some critiques my way. If any of you, I know there's a lot of pros in this group as well as amateurs. If you see something, let me see it, or let me hear about it, because, I don't have a classic looking swing, but I have really good mobility. I have a level of fitness. I take care of myself with what I eat. I do all the pieces. So for me, I'm a big believer that we all have the ideal swing inside of us, and the only way to get it out is to search for it and refine it through guidance. When I give golf lessons, whether virtually or in person, I'm not going to tell you, put the club in this position and this position. And I hear and see coaches all the time talking about P1, P2, P3, P4, like all these things. Like, that's great, but really those are just snippets of an overall reaction. And what we really need to understand is the athleticism and the mobility and the mindset that it takes to get into those positions in the first place. So I like to start my practice off with a wedge. It could be any wedge. I just have my 58 degree here. And there's a little stick right out there. I'm going to hit to that. And this is usually just to get my feelers warmed up. Narrow stance, look at the target, make a swing. Almost hit it, so that's cool. Pull the ball out, reset. I don't want to stand over the ball all the time. So now, maybe this time I'm going to go for the edge of the shadow that's right there. They're not big swings, they're just feel swings. They're more tempo swings than anything. Awesome. And now, all right, let's go back to the stick. Just changing it up. It's still the same club, at least up to now. And now let's change it. We're still going to stick with a wedge, but I'm going to go for a different target. I don't know if you guys can see it from where the camera's pointed. There's a little chipping net out there. It's about 55 yards. It's a little bit off to the left. I'm going to go at that for a shot. A little bit too far. I like the line and the trajectory on that shot. Now, in my mind, I like playing that low shot, but you know what? Let's try same club, higher shot. And it's really no different other than my setup, going from weight shifted forward to weight shifted back. And you make the swing nearly exactly the same, and I got a higher shot because of it. So one of the things that you need to understand when you're hitting balls is not trying to reinvent the wheel every time you swing, is having a shot in mind and try and execute it. Here's a 9-iron, and maybe a lot of you just hit stock 9-irons all the time. I have a red flag out there. It's 119 yards. I'm going to go with that. This is my 155 club, but I'm going to go with the 119 because there's probably a lot of times on the course where I actually need to hit a 119-yard shot. Maybe I need to keep it low and under some trees and hit a little fade. So in my mind, I'm seeing a little low punch fade with a 9-iron. Stay dead straight. So next time, I would change that. I liked the way it took off. I liked the trajectory. It just didn't move. So let's try that same shot. It's a little hard to get a 9-iron to curve that much, but we're going to try it again. And if I don't hit it the second time, we're going to move on. We're going to see that same shot. I'm going to get my weight a little bit more over, a little bit cleared through the extra. If I get my hips out of the way, then the puck should slice. And it didn't. So I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to keep trying to hit that shot. Let's go 5-iron. 5-iron is my 200-yard club. Let's pretend we're playing a par 3. Par 3, 205. All right, we have a blue flag, 220 way out there, so it's not quite going to make it. But I can use my best judgment. And let's say this one I want to be a tight draw. Now I'm looking in the clouds up ahead, so I actually have my eye on a spot in the clouds. And I'm going to use that as my little vision window. I'm going to look up into those clouds, visualize this nice high draw, get my weight set for a draw, and make the swing. Pretty straight. So it didn't drop. I like the contact I got out of it. So this time, rather than trying to hit the draw again, I'm going to hit a different shot. I'm going to go back to that red flag. 119 yards. I'm going to try that punch cut that I was trying with the 9-iron. We're going to do it with this 5-iron. I've hit this shot tons of times. Maybe you have too. 119 yards. Maybe we're out of the trees. What a low punch cut with the 5-iron. We're going to go 120 yards. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm off a map. They're all going pretty straight. Let me see if I can get one to curve a little bit. Let's try it again. I like the distance. I like the trajectory. We've got to get this thing to curve. Dead straight. That's okay. Good miss to have. All right, so let's move on. 7-iron. Everybody's favorite range club, the 7-iron. And we're going to go at the 169-yard white flag. Because I hit this club about 175, 178, so that's a pretty good one. And you know what? I've been hitting a lot of straight shots, so let's go for a straight shot. White flag, see the shot in my mind, I'm lined up. Oh, and now it draws. What I don't want it to. That's okay. So we learn from it. We're going to go to the yellow flag over here. Yellow flag, 7-iron, it's 110 yards. We're gonna hook this one. We're gonna try to start this one by this white stake in front of me and get it to hook 40 yards, like we're trying to sling it around a tree. I got it to hook the amount I wanted, just way too far. Way too far. It's supposed to go 110, that probably went 140. So what do? I swing less, and I know I need to make it curve a little bit more, because when I swing less, it's not gonna have as much spin, face is already shut. My body is going where I want it to start. My hands and my glove are going to get it to finish. There we go. Swing and puck. Sounded good. Thanks, Justin. Awesome. Now let's go the other way. Let's go a little punch cut. Now that my hands are getting a little bit more active. A little punch cut. We're going to get my hands pressed a little bit forward. Again, my body is going where I want this ball to start, right at this little white stake. I'm going to hold that finish off, try to keep it low, try to cut this in there into that red flag. There it is. Now, those of you watching might be thinking like, well, that's great, Blaine, but I can't do that. I can't do it at least on command. And I'd like to argue that you absolutely can. You just have the wrong mindset of how you go into your practice. See, every single shot has a purpose. Every single shot has an outcome that I'm trying for. And so I can know, hey, if I'm trying to hit a hook, if I'm trying to sling this thing around left, just like that, and it doesn't, I can ask myself, well, what did it feel like and what was the result? And I make a note and I put that shot into my mental library. It's something I can call on later. If it does, that one did do the exact hook that I wanted, I make a mental note. That's what it feels like to hit that shot. And now, when I'm on the course or when I'm playing, I can pull that shot out of my mental library and hit it at any time because I have a memory bank that I can pull from. Let's go hybrid. Let's go hybrid down to the blue flag. Blue flag's 220. I hit this hybrid between 225 and 240, depending on if it's off the ground or off the tee, and depending on just the lie. So we're going to go high cut down 220-yard flag. I got the high cut. A little bit too much. Obviously, a club with less lock is going to move a little bit more. So we're going to try that one more time. I'm going to have to feel in my mind straighter, or at least not what I just did. Not that the last shot was a bad shot, and I think that's important for all of you watching. It's just because it didn't do what you wanted it to doesn't mean it was a bad shot. It just wasn't the shot you were expecting. So let's do this. I was probably too open. I have a tendency to aiming too far left. We're going to get a little bit more square, get my shoulders squared up. We're going to make the same swing to the target. There's the high cut. It started on a different line, didn't move as much. Still not the shot I want. Normally I'd call that done. I'm going to go one more because I'm really feeling this one. I'm going to take off my little bracelet. I'm going to really go through the pre-shot routine. Got my line. Got my grip. Make sure I'm lined up. I'm probably just talking too much. There's the shot. Now, I need to really just get through this one. Started a little left, but it did go straight. So I'm going to move on. I don't need to beat that one to death. Hybrid goes away. We'll come back to it. So I know if I'm out playing later, that if I hit my hybrid today at least, I'm going to get a cut. So I'm back to my 50-degree log wedge. Let's just pretend I missed the green. And now I have a little bump and run. My bump and run is 40 yards. Went a little bit too far. One more. Try to hit that post on the flat. No, a little too far again. I'm just getting amped up because I'm talking to all of you. Let's go to the driver. All right, everybody loves the driver. Those of you watching, I'm curious, let me know, what's your favorite club? What's your favorite club to hit in the bag? We got 14 of them. Are you a good putter? Your driver? Do you like your irons? Do you like your wedges? What's your favorite club? Why? Let me know. Driver, it's teed up a little higher than I normally like it. But I think the next tee down is going to be too low. But I'm feeling good about this one. We're going to let this rip for all of you watching. Not bad. Let's take that on course. I'm going to see if we can get one to turn a little left. I've been playing a little baby fade lately. So either really straight or a little baby fade. So I know what I need to do when I get too fading. I know my arms are too bent. We're going to get locked in. Arms just a little bit more straight. Oh, I couldn't hit that better. Go long. Just on the top of the hill. Not bad. About 295 carry. I like that. Not bad into the wind. Alright, let's go. Alright, this will be fun. I'm going to get my 3-wood off the deck, everybody. Because all things considered, this is probably the weakest club in my bag. Mainly because I don't use it much. You know, it's, I used to use only exclusively 3-wood. In fact, when I was playing, and this is a good lesson for everybody, when I was playing in my PAT, my playing ability test to become a PGA member, you have to play 36 holes and shoot a certain score. And I had failed 3 times because driver got me into trouble. So on my last time trying it, I actually took my driver out of my golf bag, left it on my bed at home, and then went to the course. And I just used 3-wood all day. Kept the ball in play, had a little bit longer into the greens, but I passed because you don't have to be a hero. You just have to be consistent. Now that being said, I don't take it as much anymore, so it's not my most consistent club. But we're going to have some fun with it anyway because of all you watching. really solid. My tendency with this 3-wood lately has been hit left of my target, and I think part of it is I'm aiming out that way. So I'm just going to feel this mat is pointing me. That's pretty straight. I think maybe my eye is just crooked. This mat's not pointing where I think it was pointed. So I'm pointing more. I don't know if you guys can see that radio tower way off in the distance over the trees. That's my actual aim. Right there. I couldn't hit that better. So my whole point here is to practice like you play. You never really hit the same shots twice. So let's go through a pretend hole. I'm going to pretend that I'm playing the first hole here at the Suburban Club. I like to do this on courses where I know the holes really well, because I can play this course in my sleep. I know how I would be hitting them based on the results. So I take a driver. The first hole's up 380 yards. Pretty straight downhill. So we're going to take out this driver. Definitely let that get away from me, so I know exactly where I am. That's 120 yards left in, and I'm behind a tree. So this is perfect for that little 9-iron, 120-yard hook shot I was practicing at the beginning of this little session here. So I'm going to go for the yellow flag over there, 9-iron, 120 yards, and I got to hook this thing around. Perfect. Now that being said, I doubt it would hold on the green. So I'm going to take out my 54-degree sand wedge, and we're going to hit a shot just to the edge of this grass right here. I'm going to pretend that's the shot. Perfect. Now I have like a 7-footer. So we go to hole number 2. Hole number 2 is a par 3. I usually take a 6-iron there. It's about 185 yards. 185 yards. We're going to go with the white flag is 169. That's pretty close. But it's a par 3, tiny little green, beautiful 1900 Tillinghast course here. So we're going to go down to that white flag. Get my aim. I like that. Oh, that's the shot of the day right there. Hole in one, guys. Drinks on me, my treat. All right, I got a putt for that one. Number 3. Number 3 here, I'm taking a hybrid. It's a par 4, slight dogleg right, but I know if I take 3-wood or driver, I go through the fairway. So I want to hit just a tiny little cut in my hybrid, and luckily, I've been hitting tiny little cuts with my hybrid today. So I'm going to aim down at that blue flag. I'm going to try to have like a 15-yard cut, but otherwise pretty straight. If I go straight, I'm okay with it. Perfect shot. That's exactly what I want right there. From there, I have about 165 into this green, which for me is going to be a stock 8-iron. We'll go with the white flag again, so that's 169. Step behind. Pre-shot routine every single time, man. Every single time. No excuses. Don't get lazy. It's one of the best ways to get quick, faster, get better, quicker. Sorry. So 8-iron, white flag. Yeah, that's the shot. Straight at it. Now, 4th hole. 4th hole is a driver hole. And I'm trying to just destroy this ball because there's a creek. I'd like to ideally get this ball over that creek. That creek is about 285 carry to get over it. And I know I can do it. If the wind's in my face, I wouldn't. But I know if I get a good hit on it, we're over that creek. So we're going to go after this one for you guys. See if we can just get this out there. Yeah, it's over. So that leaves about 145. Ooh, carried the hole this time. I'm going to stop doing that then. I don't want to send the guys down over the street to get it. 145, slightly off a 9-iron. It's up a hill. Let's just pretend we're going to hit a cut. A cut is a great way to take some distance off of a shot. Ball's not going to go quite as far. So we're going to take a 9-iron, stock 9-iron with a baited cut. Up on top of that hill, imaginary hill, I see it in my mind. Cut, but not my best contact. So we're going to break out the wedge. There's a bunker there that I now have to go over. It's not a far shot, but I do need to get it high. So we're going to take the sand wedge, open it up just a fraction, just to get a little extra something on it. And we're just going to come down steep. We're going to call this like a 40-yarder. It's way more than 40 yards. Okay, so it's a bad ball, guys. Even in my mind, I'm not playing it well. So we're going to take a pitching wedge, a little bump and run. Fifth hole. I normally go driver, but I don't want to hit it over the road again. So we're going to go 3-wood. I'll practice my 3-wood off the deck because I need practice with that shot every single time behind the ball. Look at your shot, pick your target, pick your alignment point, step up to it, get your target, see the shot in your mind before you hit it. Gorgeous. Long hole, especially if I took a 3-wood. So I'm going to have a 5-iron into this green. Long uphill par 4. It really should be a par 5 for the higher handicappers here at the fun. Let's take a new target. Let me put the tree off the edge of the range. I haven't looked at that yet. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a tree out there on the edge of the range before you get to the short game area way down there. So we're just going to hit at that. I like it. Get the picker. Oh, almost got the guy driving the picker. Let's do one more, because the next one's a par 3, and depending on the shot, it's anywhere between a pitching wedge and a 6-iron. So I'm going to take a little punch cut 8, because I really like that shot, and I think that's a good one for me to end on today. So punch cut 8. I'm going to start it by the blue flag, move it right to the red flag, but it's going to go the distance of the white flag. So set it up, see it in our mind, punch cut 8. Oh, I shanked it! No! See, it happens, everybody, it happens. So let's do it one more time, full reset. Punch cut. See, that's what happens with a cut. You're leading in with the hosel, so it can absolutely happen. Especially when you play tiny little blades like what I play. Punch cut 8. There it is. Didn't move quite as much as I wanted, but the contact was much better. So all that aside, I appreciate you all tuning in and watching this. But all this aside, the whole idea here, the common theme is we want to practice like we play. So don't just go to the range and hit stock shots and try to feel the perfect swing, because there is no perfect swing and you're not going to be able to feel it. You have to see a shot in your mind, and only when you see the shot and you commit to the shot before you swing it do you know what you're looking for. And that's the biggest thing that I can teach any of you, is don't go searching for a feeling, or I should say don't, you get what I'm saying by this point if you've been watching it. Pick a shot before you make a swing. That's the only way you're going to get better. Practice like you play. If you're just now hopping in on this, go back to the beginning. Watch it from the beginning. There's a lot of good golden nuggets in this practice session. If you have questions, DM me. Move better, play better.